One of the things I see people messing up when they're trying to use content to grow a brand and ultimately monetize that brand through the sale of what they know, right? Their information. That could be a course, that could be coaching, that could be consulting, in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't really matter. But they optimize for the wrong thing in their content. They optimize for trying to go viral. They optimize for trying to get as many views as possible. They optimize for the algorithms, which will achieve a certain outcome. But if the goal is to build a profitable business, that's probably not what you ultimately want to optimize for, unless the business that you're trying to build is fame or sheer audience size to then try and unlock sponsorship deals or affiliations of some kind. But if the goal is to actually monetize through the sale of your own products and services and advice, it's not the right thing to optimize for. Rather, what you need to focus on is creating content, videos, written posts, whatever it is, whatever form it comes in, short, long, anywhere in between, stuff that is truly you, right? And I don't just mean the subject matter of the content, right? That's a given. The stories that you share and the experiences that you share and the advice that you give and the results that you share, right? Like that's a given. That's the easy part. You're just sharing the stuff that you're doing, have done, where you see things going, the people that you've worked with, how you do things, your methodologies, all that kind of shit. That's easy. But where I see people going wrong is they take themselves out of the style of the content. They take themselves out of the voice that they use. So not the subject matter, but how it's delivered, right? The tone, the energy that goes into it, the approach to creating the concept of the content, the headspace that they're in when they create the content, right? Like I'll talk to clients and they use certain language, right? They've got certain slang that they might use. They've got a certain sense of humor, they've got a certain personality. And then you read their content or you watch their videos and it's like, who the fuck is that person? It's like, that's not the person I was on the phone with. They're completely different. And this is a really big bridge that people have to cross, right? And it's not an easy one to cross because something happens when you sit down to film a video or stand up to film a video. Something happens when you sit down to write a post, right? Or an email or whatever. The tone and the substance of it, the substance of us, or you or me or whoever's creating it, gets lost. And what I find is people try and create what they think other people want to hear and watch, and the voice gets lost, the tone gets lost, the style gets lost, the stuff that makes it you, right? Because that's what content is. It should just be a reflection of you. It's an extension of you. It's your message and your stories told in your voice and in your language and in your style, and it's just capturing it and putting that out onto the internet as a mechanism to reach people, communicate with people, build a relationship with people at scale. That's what content fundamentally is. It shouldn't be this like mega highly curated thing that loses that substance, right? But I think what happens for a lot of people anyway is they look up to certain people and they see people doing it a certain way and they see them creating a certain type of content, or they have this type of editing, or they use this type of language or these types of words or this style of post or whatever, and they think that that's the thing that is going to work for them. There's a couple of lessons in that. One, the people that you're looking up to probably have a way bigger audience than you. So really, whatever they do, it's probably going to work in some way, shape or form. Could it be optimized? Probably. But it's probably going to work because of size and sheer force that they can put behind it, right? So that's one thing. But if you are someone who has a smaller audience or is building an audience, if you lose the substance that is you and the style that you do things and it's not truly you, you're really going to struggle to connect with people, right? Even if the subject matter's on point, if it's delivered in a way that's just like, it's not really congruent with who you are, I think it makes things really tough. I'll give you an example. You guys are, whoever's still watching this, which I've probably had massive drop off on this video already because it's not flashy editing and I'm not even using a fucking tripod thing and I'm not at my desk and I'm not sitting still and I'm walking around and we're outside and the audio sucks and all this kind of stuff, right? It's not perfect. And so not optimized for what I should be creating. But every time I try and change it up and every time I try and make it more perfect, it becomes really sterile for me. And or even when I like schedule a time to sit down and film videos, It just doesn't come out the way that I want it to come out. What's always worked for me, not to grow the biggest audience, not to get the most views, because I definitely don't achieve that. That's out there for everyone to see. But what does work really well to connect with people and has made a lot of money to the tune of millions of dollars through content is by going, fuck it, getting my phone, right? You guys can see me in the mirror. There's no tripod thing. I'm not holding a gimbal, or I've got all that shit. It's in the office. But I just can't be bothered setting it up. I just like grabbing my phone, hitting record, and going outside and talking. It's beautiful out here. I love just standing out here riffing with you guys and sharing the lessons that I've learned. And that's really what content should be, right? Is just sharing the lessons that you've learned, the things that you've done, the things that you're doing, where you see things going in your authentic way, right? If for me, I was the type of person who loved stuff being perfect and that's what excited me, I wouldn't do this because this wouldn't be right. But that's not my jam, right? I wouldn't have my t-shirt on from Tropical Fruit Rolls. I wouldn't be walking back and forth and moving the camera around. I know that's pissing a few people off. So, you know, it is what it is. But this is how I create content. This is what's worked for me. And this is what allows me to speak freely and just talk and get my message across. And you need to find that for you, okay? You've got to find a way to not only nail the subject matter, not just the subject matter, but you've got to find your style. And when you bring those two together and the value that you provide is delivered in a way that is congruent with your own energy and how you can freely share and create content that isn't filtered, that isn't watered down, that isn't trying to mimic somebody else, when those two things come together, 100 views is going to be better than 10,000 views. Because the people that are going to watch it are going to go, this is someone I want to work with. I'm interested in what they've got to, help me with. I might join their group. I might join their list. I might reach out about working together. So you've got to bring those two things together. I think people aren't bad at the subject matter stuff. I think they could get better at it, but they're not that bad at it. But they're trying to articulate things in a way that is not them. Be it written, be it video, all that kind of stuff. They're trying to mimic other people and they're trying to optimize for algorithms. Like I said, if you're trying to become famous, that's fine, do that shit. But if you're trying to build a brand and a business and monetize through your expertise, through your knowledge, and you actually want to create connection that leads to customers and clients for the long term, don't optimize for that. Optimize for creating content in a style that is natural and congruent for you, okay? Appreciate you hanging out with me on this one. I'll talk to you soon.